Bananarama friends, how are you doing? You're looking handsome. You're looking great. And I am also doing great because last night I had the pleasure of listening to Lily Allen's Revenge album, song by song. And let me tell you, this album surprised me. I was not expecting a masterpiece, but this album just delivers in so many fronts. I mean, it is a great pop album, so yeah, don't be afraid to listen to it. It's great, it's catchy, it's wonderful. But especially, this is a masterpiece in terms of revenge. This woman leaves no stone unturned. So today, I want to go over this album with you, do a deep dive, song by song, see what she experienced, not just in terms of practical things. There's a lot of gossip in this album, but also in terms of her emotional state. And I think you're just going to enjoy it as much as I did. So let's go. Okay, so before we dive into this, let's just talk a little bit about who Lily Allen is. I think it's good if we're on the same page. You see, even though this woman does indie pop and she has 2 huge albums under her belt in her past, this is no Taylor Swift, okay? This is not basic Barbie. She's not afraid to offend people, and she's had her fair share of controversies in her past. Not only did she have a very sex, drugs, and rock and roll type of life, but she even released a song about her brother once. Her brother was also famous. He was an actor. And she basically destroyed the guy in a song, talked about how the guy just spent the time in his room like smoking weed and spanking the monkey. And, so she's an interesting character. And I think this album is just one more instance of her wild personality. So let's go over it. Western Girl, the first song in the album. Now, I want you to pay close attention to what Lily Allen is doing with this song, because this song is doing so much heavy lifting, okay? First, it is establishing like the situation and the stakes, but it is also a contract between Lily Allen and the listener and you. You see? Because even though she has said in interviews that she took some creative departures from the truth and this album is not gospel, I think the album tells a very different story, okay? This song shows you that she is being dead serious about the details in the lyrics of this album. Let me show you why, okay? So here's the lyrics, and she spends like the first good portion of the song establishing what is going on, okay? She says, now we're all here, we have moved to New York, we found a little rental near a sweet little school. She's telling you that she came all the way from London with her children. That's why she mentions the school. And then she goes on. Now I'm looking at houses with 4 or 5 floors, and you found us a brownstone. You said you wanted, it's yours. Okay, so she moves in with this guy, and they buy a brownstone together. Here's the first detail. That brownstone is real. It exists. This is not poetic license she's taking. It's for real. In fact, that brownstone is now being sold for $8 million. It showed up in the website of a reputable realtor agent last week. Okay? It's the same brownstone that they walked around in the AD video. So the song now continues, and this second part is doing a completely different job, okay? This is where she's telling you, look at how serious I am going to be with the details, because she mentions Billy Cotton, okay? She says, we went ahead and we bought it, found ourselves a good mortgage. Billy Cotton got sorted, all the furniture ordered, okay? And why is this detail important? It's because it is such an unimportant detail. The only purpose of her putting this here is to let you know that she's dead serious, because Billy Cotton is the interior designer that did her whole brownstone.
Started on this design process with budget unconscious designer Billy Cotton. One of the things he had was called layered Italian.
This is verifiable. This is online. So you can verify this, and that's when you say, this woman is sharing actual real details. Let's move on. So as they bought this brownstone, practically the minute that she moved in, she gets a phone call with an offer for her to be the lead actress in a play on the West End in London. Okay? She says, I walk up the stoop, I put the key in the door, and then my phone started ringing, so I answered the call, right? It happened like right as she was moving in. And guess what? This is also true. She got the lead in a play called 222 Ghost Story. And and she had never acted before. So this was a big deal for her. She had also been, in a very prolonged hiatus from doing anything in the limelight. So this was a big deal for her. But you see, the song now continues. I said, I got some good news. I got the lead in a play. That's when your demeanor started to change. You said, I have to audition. I said, you're deranged. He didn't take it so well, okay? That's the moment that she identifies as the second that things started to change between them. And we also have receipts for this, okay? Because she posted a picture of a note that he has sent to her to the premiere with some flowers, basically telling her he wished her bad luck because if she got awards for this, he was gonna be devastated. Okay, and it was said in like a joke tone, but we know better. So, and also we have more receipts than that, by the way. There's another picture of David Harbour's Instagram account where he posted a picture of the premiere of this play saying, and I quote, very proud of my slightly nervous, immensely brave, annoyingly talented wife, Lily Allen, who has her first preview of her play tonight, like that she's acting in. If you're in London, check it out at the Noel Coward till October something. Also, very excited to announce, I've been working on a pop album. Get ready, because it's gonna suck. Yeah, that doesn't come across as very kosher now in light of all of this, does it? Kind of a dick move. And here's what I think was happening. I don't know them, I don't know, but this is my interpretation. I think Lily Allen, when she met David Harbour, she was not an actress, she was just a singer. And so this opportunity as an actress made him feel insecure and competitive with her because now she was moving into his terrain. And like he said, if she started winning awards, he was going to be devastated. She still went ahead and left for London. And it says, now I'm in London, I'm on my own, I'm in a hotel room, I am all on my own, I'm a West End girl. And the song finishes with a very weird thing. It's a phone call, but you can only hear her side of the conversation. Now, mind you, this is still part of like the contract that she's doing with you. She's telling you, I'm willing to go as far as to give you snippets of conversations between me and other people. Because in this conversation, we don't know what the other person is saying, but she replies, she says, hi, how are you? I miss you. And she says, yeah, huh? Yeah, right. Okay, well, I mean, it doesn't make me feel great. Well, if that's what you need to do, then I guess. Well, how will it work? Oh, well, right. I mean, it makes me really sad, but no, I'm fine. I want you to be happy. Okay, I'll speak to you later. I love you. Bye. And I think this is the conversation where he tells her that he wants to open their relationship. Okay, so that's the first song. So many things happen in here already, right? She moves from London with her children to New York. They buy a house together. Then she gets this opportunity to act on the West End in a play, and he takes it the wrong way. And she leaves nonetheless. She doesn't care. She goes anyway. And that's when he tells her that he wants to open the relationship. And this sets up the story for the rest of the album to come. And it's such a good establishing shot for this story. So let's move on to the next song in the album that's called Ruminating. And this is how she reacted emotionally to this request by David Harbour. Okay, so the second song is called Ruminating, and it paints a really good picture of what her inner landscape looked like when her husband asked her to open the marriage. And I want you to put yourself in her shoes as somebody who has had to move away from her family, her friends, all of her support network, all the way to New York City to be with this man. And then he asks her to open the marriage, to let other people sleep with him. This is how she was feeling, okay? I'm giving up on getting sleep tonight. It's 4 a.m. and I am in fight or flight, ruminating. And I can't shake the image of her naked on top of you, and I am disassociated, ruminating. I know there's a lot of people out there who are now trying these new alternative arrangements like open relationships and polyamory and like polycules and all of this. But I think most people are just not prepared for this type of arrangement. You're just, I don't share my shoes, okay? How am I going to share the love of my life? That's how I feel about this. And I think she probably felt the same way. She didn't want this arrangement, and she's feeling, on the one hand, very threatened by the idea of her being away in London while he's back in New York with who knows who. And this other woman gets to sleep with him and gets to occupy her space. And she just wants reassurance that she's not going to be replaced by someone else. Why can't you wait for me to come home? This conversation is too big for a phone call. I agree with that. You don't just open your marriage via text, okay? Ruminating, I have been up all night. Did you kiss her on the lips and look in her eyes? Did you have fun? Now that it's done, baby, won't you tell me that I am still your number one? Because you're my number one. So it's so hurtful, really. I feel sorry for her. I mean, this song really kind of breaks my heart. I told you all of this has been too brutal. You told me that you felt the same. It's mutual. And then you came out with this line so crucial. Yeah, if it has to happen, baby, do you want to know? I don't know. But what a line. What a fucking line. He is heartless because she tells him that she feels this is brutal, like this is causing her harm and it's damaging her. And he replies with, me too. I think it's brutal too. But hey, if it has to happen, baby, do you want to know? Like, do you want me to tell you all the details of the person I'm fucking? Yeah, it kind of sets up, that this is going to end in a tragedy. Like, there's no way this relationship is going to get to a good port with this second song. So now we know how she's feeling about this, and we get to move on to Sleepwalking. So this song is called Sleepwalking, and this song is a recount of grievances, all the things that they reproached one another as the relationship completely deteriorated. He complains that she's too needy, that she won't stop talking, and that she doesn't touch him, that there's no sex. And she complains that he's blaming her for the failure of the relationship, but at the same time, he's not giving her the romance that he promised her. So let's listen to this. So here it goes. So she says, of course I'm angry, of course I'm hurt. Looking back, it is so absurd. Of course I trusted you and took you at your word. Why aren't we fucking, baby? Yeah, that's what you said, but you let me think it was me in my head and nothing to do with the girls in your bed. So she's saying that he was so satisfied by having a bunch of girls to fuck that he wasn't touching her either, but was blaming the lack of sex on her. You won't stop talking, and I am just sleepwalking. See your thoughts forming. Baby, stop it. It's 3 a.m. Here, I think she kept asking him about things or talking to him about her negative feelings, and he was getting tired of this. He was getting tired of her being needy and having these difficult conversations with him in bed at 3 a.m. And she says, I know you've made me your Madonna. I want to be your whore. Baby, it would be my honor. Please, sir, can I have some more? I could preserve all your fantasies if only you could act them out on me. He doesn't see her as as a lover. He sees her as a wife. And I think this is a problem a lot of men have, immature men. They can't seem to be capable of integrating the vision of women as sexual objects and the vision of their partner, their person that they admire and are supposed to live their life with, you know? Healthy men who mature, are capable of like understanding that these two parts are integrated into a single person, their wife. But not every man manages to reach that stage. Sometimes they get in a stage of arrested development. The next one is a big one. These two have been about emotions and the relationship, how it adjusted over time. But the next one is another song with receipts. So let's listen to that one. It's called Tennis. Tennis. This was the moment Lily Allen discovered that she had been betrayed. And she paints the whole picture. The scene happened when he came back home after a prolonged period of time away shooting, and he was completely indifferent. She narrates it this way. Daddy's home for the first time in weeks, got the dinner on the table till the kids it's time to eat. And I made my baby's favorite, but he didn't seem to care. I just tell myself he's jet lagged and I'm glad to have him here. Then you showed me a photo on Instagram and it was how you grabbed your phone back right off my hands. So I read your texts. See, so that's what tipped her off. Like it was the way that he grabbed his phone back from her that showed her that there was something going on there. And so she went through his text, and that's how she finds out. And she says, I need to be alone, so I took myself to bed. I got a lot of information that I can't even process. So I wrote a little email and I told you what I saw. Then you came up to the bedroom and you made it all my fault. So she goes to her bedroom and she needs time to think, but she can't control her thoughts. You see, she seems to be someone with an overactive head. And she figures that it's best if she could talk to him about it. So instead of going downstairs and letting him know, because they have children in the house, she writes him an email and he comes up to the bedroom to talk to her and he blames her. I imagine for going through his phone, I suppose, I don't know. But she has a very valid complaint because she says, I agreed to your open relationship, but now you're moving the goalposts. She says, you've moved the goalposts, you're broken the rules. I tried to accommodate you, but you took me for a fool. So, I read your text, now I regret it. Who's Madeline? Basically, that's the song. It's the fact that even after agreeing to something that she found brutal, which is opening the relationship, he couldn't even follow the simple boundaries that she had set for this type of relationship. She didn't want him involved with other people. And she finds out that he's not just having sex with strangers, he's having dates. He's going out to play tennis with this woman. So the next song is also a big one. This is the one where she discovers the identity of the woman that he was cheating on her with. So this song is Madeline, and this is when she confronts the woman in the text messages. And she calls her Madeline, but her real name, we know that now, is Natalie. And I think Madeline, Natalie, they sound very similar, don't they? See, here's where she spells out what the rules were of the open relationship. And here they are. Be discreet and don't be blatant. There had to be payment. It had to be with strangers, but you're not a stranger, Madeline. She agreed to him having sex with other people, but she didn't want it to be out in the open. I suppose she was protective of her own reputation. The next part of the song is, it's done with an American accent. You see, Lily Allen is British, and she has a British accent. It seems to be a text message exchange, and this is what Madeline said. Hey, he's telling you the truth. Our relationship has only ever been about sex, I can promise you that this is not an emotional connection. We don't speak outside the time spent together, and whenever he talks about you, it's with the utmost respect. And then she says, you tell me he's telling the truth? Is that the case? Or is this a line that he fed you? I want to believe you, but is this a ruse? Lie to me, babe, and I'll end you. Oh, I believe that. I believe she'll end her. I can't trust anything that comes out of your mouth, and I'm not convinced that he didn't fuck you in our house. Do you two ever talk about me? Has he told you that he doesn't love me? I bet he tells you that he loves you. I've gotten old, I've gotten ugly. These are all her insecurities playing in her head. And then Madeline finishes this exchange saying, I hate that you're in so much pain right now. I really don't want to be the cause of any upset. He told me you were aware this was going on and that he had your full consent. If he's lying about that, then please let me know, because I have my own feelings about dishonesty. Lies are not something that I want to get caught up in. You can reach out to me anytime, by the way, if you need any more details or you just need to vent or anything. Love and light, Madeline. And this song is just like, it's brutal, okay? It's brutal because of everything. I mean, wow, there's so much going on. So on the one hand, she finds the identity of this woman. And we know now, not because it's in the record, but from outside the record, from things she said in Twitter, we know that she found the identity of this woman by cross-comparing the people that David Harbour followed on Instagram with the women who had Raya profiles. Raya is a celebrity dating app. So she got in there and she saw which women were on the app near her. And then she cross-compared it to his phone. And that's how she found her. And then she confronted her. And here's like the things that just blow my mind. One, this woman is telling her that she thought Lily Allen knew the whole time. But this was a 3-year relationship. You're going to tell me you never found anything suspicious. There must have been telltale signs that this man is not being open with his wife, right? If after 3 years you've never seen him talk to his wife in front of you, like, you know when somebody is being sketchy and hiding things. But then, Lily Allen's own insecurities, like she feels old, she feels ugly, she feels like she is unlovable, and she is trying so hard to prove that David Harbour does not love her. And this feels to me a little bit pathological in a way. Like, obviously, I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not like I am not diagnosing Lily Allen here, but this fixation with trying to prove that the person you're with doesn't love you. I think some men are very capable, and some women too, are very capable of loving two people. And the fact that he had a lover doesn't necessarily mean he didn't love her. But she's hell-bent on finding out. And this to me feels, like he said, needy. This feels like someone who is not secure in their own identity, secure in who they are. But it's very honest and very raw that she's putting this in writing in her album. I think it's not just a revenge album. I think she's being 100% like honest on the paper. And that's something it takes a lot of bravery. It takes a lot of moxie to take revenge on someone, but even more moxie to like be vulnerable on paper in front of the entire world. You have to applaud her for this. So now we know that this Madeline woman is actually called Natalie Tippett. She came forward and the Daily Mail interviewed her. And in the interview, she explained like who she was. She was 34 years old, and she's not even that young, like for Lily Allen to feel so old. But apart from that, she was in the costume department of a film that David was in, and that's how they met. And Natalie confirmed to the Daily Mail that she had heard the lyrics. She said, "Of course I heard the song, but I have family and things to protect. It's a little bit scary for me." Yeah, and so people are wondering, why did she come forward? Nobody was looking for her. Why did she come forward? And why did she come forward and not give us anything? You know what I mean? She's not giving us anything. She's just like, yes, here I am. This is me. And no comments. We're going to see later on why this woman is acting in this bizarre way. But you want to know what's funny? The funny thing here is, you know what movie David Harbour was shooting when he met this woman? And keep in mind, this happened in parallel with Lily Allen being in London for her play. So he felt insecure about her in this play. This guy was shooting a movie called We Have a Ghost. It's a Netflix movie and it's terrible, or at least it looks terrible from the trailer. Like I didn't submit myself to the agony of watching that, but I mean, it's a joke of a movie. It's a terrible movie. It's just a parody of a scary movie. But you know what's incredible is the movie is called We Have a Ghost. The play that Lily Allen was in London was called 222, A Ghost Story. And both things were about a haunted house. And they had just bought a brownstone. I wonder if there's like a paranormal angle here. Was there a ghost in the brownstone that they bought? Is this the ghost, the culprit, that their entire relationship came unraveled? Who knows? It's all it feels like a very strong synchronicity here. And while the play Lily Allen was in was lauded, I mean, she even got nominated to a very important award, okay? The movie sucks. The movie is terrible. It's like, it kind of highlights like the gap in talent between these two people. So that's Madeline. And let's move on to the emotional part, called Relapse, the next song. Okay, so far we can say this has not been the best relationship for Lily Allen, okay? She got into this marriage, then this guy told her he wanted to open the marriage, then she gave him a set of boundaries, he completely disrespected them, and now she had to talk to his mistress, with whom he had been having an affair for 3 years. And the mistress is lying to her face, telling her that it was just sexual, when in reality, we know so much about this. Like, we know this woman had been living with David Harbour as he shot Stranger Things in Atlanta. So there's a lot of stuff. And obviously, Lily Allen is someone who had problems with substances. She had problems with drugs and alcohol. And that's what the theme of the next song is about. The song is called Relapse. And the song is basically about her, saying that after all of this has happened, she feels like she needs a Valium. Valium? She needs a Valium. She needs a drink. And so let's dissect the lyrics. She says, "The ground is gone beneath me. You pull the safety net. I moved across an ocean. From my family, from my friends, the foundation is shattered. You have made such a fucking mess. I try to be your modern wife, but the child in me protests. I need a drink. I need a Valium. You push me this far, and I just need to be numb. If I relapse, I know I stand to lose it all. Can you bring me back when I'm climbing up the walls? If I relapse, I need a drink. The girls are looking at me," her daughters. "The girls are looking at me to teach them all about love, but I can't seem to hold my shit together long enough. I need a drink, I need a Valium, you push me this far." Yeah, so basically that's the whole song. And I feel like she's having a lot of feelings here, because on the one hand, she's feeling like a victim. This is like the lowest point, I think, in the album. She still had a lot to discover with this man, but emotionally, I think this is rock bottom. This is when she feels like a complete victim of the circumstances. And she's like, I'm feeling so bad that I'm justified in relapsing. That's a very dangerous territory to be in. And she's feeling shame because she feels like this relationship failing is going to paint her in a terrible light in front of her daughters, who look up to her as an example of what being a woman is, and she can model for them a healthy relationship. So yeah, she's afraid of relapsing, she's feeling like a victim, and she's ashamed of what her daughters will say. But the next song, oh boy, the next song is probably the best in the entire album. It's called Pussy Palace. Let's see it. Pussy Palace. We went over this song yesterday, but I have new things to show you. So she's saying that this guy had another apartment on the West Village. Okay? And a lot of people online are speculating that the apartment, the Pussy Palace apartment that she's talking about, is actually David Harbour's single pad that he showed to Architectural Digest in the past. So we're gonna take a tour of the Pussy Palace as we dissect this song.
Oh my God, Architectural Digest.
Welcome to my Pussy Palace.
You want to come in?
Oh yeah, I do, baby. Is this where you bring all of your hot dates?
All right, welcome. This is the foyer area in New York City apartments. I assume you've seen New York City apartments. I don't know if you live in Manhattan, but I live in Manhattan. And in general, our apartments are very, very small.
Doesn't matter how small they are. There's enough space for you and your rendezvous.
Thing that you put on the wall where you have like a bunch of pens. I think I've used this once in the year and a half I've been living here. And you write things on it, you know what I mean? You're supposed to write things on it, like inspirational things or like little love notes to...
The guy has a guest book for his booty calls. I wonder if he had them sign him a note. Maybe that's what she found inside the shoebox.
The Stranger Things book is front and center. That's so embarrassing. But also, so is 2 copies of Don Quixote, neither of which I've read. I like this bookcase.
Oh my God, he's so pompous. So pompous.
My designer, Kyle, we'll be talking about Kyle a bunch this tour. Kyle calls these, I think they're called God lights or something, which I don't, maybe it's because it makes the bookcase look angelic or something like that. This is a nice little ladder thing which slides along the wall.
I'm sure he made them climb up the ladder like a pervert, like a gooner.
Things, which, by the way, is the worst made award in the history of awards. As you can see, it's completely falling apart. And it did that on day 3 of my having it.
How did Lily Allen take this? Come on.
This is basically like the room where you live in. There's no den or study or things like that. It's basically one room. And then we redesigned the whole kitchen as well. And it was funny, when you redesign something, I found this stove, even though I'm not much of a cook, I like the color of this stove a lot, and I just thought it was a really cool stove. And then I was like, wow, that stove is a very specific green, and now I have to design an entire kitchen color scheme around this particular weird green of the stove.
He likes the color of the stove. I don't buy this guy being so precious when he keeps, he buys his sex toys from Dwayne Reed and he keeps them in a tied Dwayne Reed bag. When he gets these booty calls to come to his place, isn't he a little bit ashamed of having to pull out the Trojans from this bag? It's kind of embarrassing. I don't believe this guy being so precious after that. I don't buy it.
This is the living area, and we have this design for the space. I love this color. It's made of this nice soft material. Couches are hard. Couches are hard to find. A good couch that you enjoy sitting on has always been the bane of my existence. I've had some very bad couches in my time on this earth. So there's no TV. What? I don't watch TV? Of course I watch TV. What do you want to watch? Want to watch some Netflix? Come on,
Yeah,
let's
I
do
want to
this.
watch We Have a Ghost. That's what I want to watch. I want to watch We Have a Ghost. Would you play that for me?
So the bedroom.
This is where the magic happens.
Just a place to like sleep and maybe read a book and maybe do some.
I bet like the
Pilates.
long
Straight
black
closets
hair was
over
like
here.
cut
Really
into the
cool. Then they have
carpet,
these
in the
things
shaggy
that's
white
like you open
carpet.
the door and the light comes on. New York living can be kind of hard because there's always light around. Like the city never gets dark. But these windows, I had these like blackout things put.
Oh yeah, so nobody from the outside can see you cheating on your wife.
Just
Very
watch
convenient.
the windows good.
So yeah, so that was the tour of the Pussy Palace. I hope you enjoyed it. I didn't know it was your Pussy Palace. Pussy Palace, Pussy Palace. I always thought it was a dojo. This is terrible. It's like, I thought this was a dojo. I had no idea that this was your booty call place. I thought this was just where you came to do taekwondo. Man. And now, after entering this place, she realizes that she has married a sex addict. Not only was it Madeline, not only was it the open marriage, but now he has a whole like bachelor pad where he apparently is having sex with who knows who. So I want you to see like the place where this guy goes to buy sex toys, right? This is Duane Reade. This is Walgreens, by the way. Duane Reade, a drugstore, okay, in New York City. This is the place that this man goes to buy his Trojans and his sex toys. It's just so shameful. Now let's move on to the next song. It's called 4chan Stan. Oh, okay, 4chan Stan. This is the song where she basically accuses him of being a gooner. Like being a sex addict. And in this song, she is basically asking him to reveal the name of the woman that he's with. I assume that this happened after she found the text, but before she knew who she was. And she was pressuring him to tell her who it was that he was with. And so she has two theories in the song. One, that he's protecting the other person because she's famous and he doesn't want anything messy in the public eye with somebody who has a reputation to protect. And the other theory, the other hypothesis that she has is that he doesn't want to give her the name because he doesn't want the mistress to learn that he had been cheating on his wife. Like, he loves the mistress so much, he doesn't want to risk her knowing that everything happened that the wife didn't know. So here's the song. The song goes, she went through his bedside drawer and she finds a receipt from Bergdorf's of a very expensive bag. And that's what gets her thinking, like, you bought her a handbag. It wasn't cheap. I was in London, probably asleep. Did you go to Montauk for the weekend? Was there an encore? Like, I'm guessing these are like intimate things that they did together. And she's asking if he did it with a lover. Why won't you tell me what her name is? This is outrageous. What, is she famous? See, that's the first theory she has for why he doesn't want to tell her the name. And she says it's like she feels he's like a loser now. He feels like a 4chan Stan with this woman who's famous, right? And then she thinks maybe that's not it. What are you so scared of? Do you think I am going to contact her and tell her? What for? I want to get divorced. It is a marriage of convenience and it is her you adore. See, we see the same idea again of her fishing for confirmation that he doesn't love her, that he loves the other woman. And yeah, and so she gets more and more obsessed with knowing who, like the identity of the mistress. And so she says, I think you're sinking, you're protecting a lie. We don't want her thinking that you cheat on your wife. She's thinking maybe she's not famous. Maybe he's just terrified of the mistress learning that they had been cheating on her all along. That's basically the song. She's accusing him of being like a pathetic 4chan stan. And so the next one is like her dealing with the fact that she finally gets to accept that she still loves him. She doesn't really want to be with anybody else. And she does the open marriage thing for him. So let's listen to that one. Okay, so Nonmonogammumy. Now, for a 40-year-old making pop music, I have to say this album is very much cringe-free until you get to this track. Because Nonmonogammumy kind of gives me a headache. It's very cringy. It makes me feel like I'm watching Drew Barrymore's talk show or something. But I'm going to give her a pass because the rest of the album is so good. And I'm fine with one cringy song. Like, she has a rapper and Monogammumy, like, but let's hear what she has to say. Forget about the cringe. All right, she says, I don't want to fuck with anyone else. I know that is all you want to do, but I'm so committed I would lose myself because I don't want to lose you. I changed my immigration status for you to treat me like a stranger. Why do I feel like such a failure? A life with you look good on paper. And I've been trying to be open. I just want to meet your needs. And for some reason, I revert to people pleasing. I'll be your non-monogammumy. I'm just trying to be open. So basically, this is very sad. She's basically saying she has no interest in this open relationship thing. She doesn't want to fuck anyone else. She just wants him and for him to be happy with her. But apparently, those two things are mutually exclusive. So she has to accept him going around fucking people. And she says, we fell in love. I landed on my feet. I was the cat that got the cream. I don't know if this verse is about her feeling like she got such a big prize. Like, to be honest, David Harbour, I mean, he's okay, but he's not like this stud, right? Or if it's more about like her managing to have a good relationship after not having one in a very long time. I don't know. We built a palace on the perfect street. You really sold me on a dream. And now I'm looking at my Tinder, or maybe I'm more of a hinger. He wants to take me out to dinner. Hope he looks better than his picture. I've been trying to be open. I just want to meet your needs. Non-monogammumy. Oh my God. So anyway, then there's like the rap part. There's a rapper here, but I'm not going to read like the rap parts because no. So anyway, what we're seeing here is like her understanding that this is absolutely not what she wants, but it's like the last resort to keep him attached to her, even though it's pretty evident at this point that this man does not care enough for her because he's forcing her through this. And I think it's pretty sad. And I think it confirms what I've been like seeing through this album about her. Like, she has a very poor self-concept and she's terrified of being abandoned. But at the same time, she's chasing confirmation that she's not, that he doesn't love her. Everywhere she goes, she's like trying to confirm this so badly. So yeah, he's an asshole, but she's also, it's true, like he's complained that she's needy. Probably there's some merit to the complaint. So, all right. So, but the next song though is the true bombshell, because in the next song, the next song, oh my God, like we need to talk about this one. Just Enough is the name, and wow. Okay, so Just Enough is a song about her wallowing in the pain of her realization that her husband is in love with somebody else. And I'm going just to skip to the good bits, all right? Because the rest is kind of a little bit pathetic. Like, she's looking at her reflection, feeling so old. She books herself a facelift, wondering how long it'll hold. And, you know, it's kind of sad. But then though, at the end of it, we get to this part and she says, did you fall in love with someone who is not me? Why are we here talking about vasectomies? They're not having sex, right? Did you get someone pregnant, someone who is not me? Did you take her to the clinic? Did you hold her hand? Is she having your baby? And this, my friends, is fire, okay? Because it seems to indicate that the mistress that David Harbour had to be taken, like that she suspects that she got pregnant, and she's wondering, did you take her to have, or is she having your baby? Now, why is this so shocking? Well, turns out Natalie Tippett, the lover of David Harbour, they started to have a relationship in 2021. And the relationship lasted all the way to 2024, 3 years. And she has a 2.5-year-old daughter, okay? She has a daughter who is 2.5 years old. So she must have gotten pregnant, gone through the entire pregnancy, and then given birth while in a relationship with David Harbour. So, oh my God, okay? Oh my God. I mean, this is just speculation. There's like no corroboration anywhere. This is like fans putting the pieces of this puzzle together. But if maybe she had like a string of lovers, maybe this kid, like we don't have the DNA test, but oh my God, like this smells so fishy. Like this would explain why this guy was unable to cut the ties with this woman, why he had to, like he could have kept quiet about his exploits, right? But he had to spring the idea of the open relationship to Lily Allen. Maybe that is why. And this also explains why she would go to the Daily Mail like, okay, I volunteer as tribute. I'm here. I am the lover. I'm willing to go on record. Yes, I have a family to protect. I have a child, right? Because maybe in the future, she's thinking of maybe asking this guy for support for the child. So she's getting all her ducks in a row. I don't know. This is just speculation, and it's fan theories, but wow, like if true, this is huge. Okay, this is huge, and you know, this would justify what everything went to the shitter. And we're almost done with the album, so this is like the climax, I suppose, on the debacle that was this marriage. Now we're gonna see like her talking. The next song is her talking about her dating profiles when she was trying to score a date in this open marriage and what happened. It goes, my name is Dallas Major and I'm coming out to play, looking for someone to have fun with while my husband works away. I'm almost nearly 40. I'm just shy of 5'2". I'm a mom to teeny children. Does that sound like fun to you? I mean, she's doing herself no favors here. It looks like she's trying really, really hard to be off-putting to the people browsing her profile. Because I hate it here. So I go by Dallas Major, but that's not my real name. You know, I used to be quite famous. That was way back in the day. Yes, I'm here for validation, and I probably should explain how my marriage has been opened since my husband went astray, and I hate it here. Yeah, that's the song, basically. It's kind of, I don't know, it's just, it makes me feel so bad for her. Like, I see how she sees herself when reading these lyrics, and I feel like she's so unfair to herself because she's a really good-looking woman, and okay, she's 40. She's not the youngest one anymore, but she's someone with merit. She is not. It's not just a has-been. She had really good records. She has real talent. It seems like whatever she attempts, she succeeds at. You know, she was lauded as an actress for her plays. She got a lot of fame for her pop albums. So why are you selling yourself so short, Lily Allen? What is wrong with you that you're constantly looking at your own flaws incessantly? It's actually kind of concerning. So we're closing. So now we're closing the arc of this album. We just have a couple more songs to go, and we're gonna see her come to terms with what has happened in the final songs. So this song is called Beg For Me, and I think this is an important moment in the emotional arc of the album, because this is when she finally shifts from being a victim to placing the blame where it belongs, okay? We have seen her self-hatred, we have seen her doubt herself, and we have seen her complain about being mistreated, like, why are you placing the blame on me? This is brutal. But now finally we see some anger bubbling up to the surface, and I think this is great. So she says, I feel embarrassed, I feel ashamed. You are so indifferent, and that is insane. Where is all your empathy for all my pain? My friends all tell me you're deranged, right? That's anger, and that's very healthy, like to see her go through this feeling rather than just seeing herself get, self-flagellating herself. I want to feel held. I want to be told I'm special and I'm unusual. I want your desire. I want to be spoiled. I want to be told I'm beautiful. Why won't you beg for me? Why won't you beg for me? If you want me to stay, love endlessly. If you want me to stay. I feel embarrassed, I feel ashamed, the same thing again and again. And, she says, if you want me to stay, I will never leave you. So even though she's feeling angry, she's saying, I could still work through this if you promise to hold your end of the bargain. But she still needs to come to terms with the fact that there's nobody on the other side, that this is her loving a ghost, okay? A ghost. But this anger is not going to stop building up, and that's the good thing, because the next song is about her thinking about revenge, thinking about making this album. That's great. Okay, so we are finally getting to close this arc, and she cannot move on without first acknowledging what happened and doing what she feels like needs to be done. And this song is about her talking herself into making this album. So we see the process in her mind, like, should I tell what happened or should I keep his secrets? And honestly, I think it's delicious. So we're going to go through this verse by verse, all right? She says, I've become invisible, stuck here in my palace. I'm so fucking miserable in my rabbit hole. Yeah, I am Alice. And I'm expected to be nice, picking up the pieces. What is it that you sacrifice? I'm protecting you from your secrets? Don't tell the children. The truth would be brutal. Your reputation is unstained. God knows how long you've been getting away with it. I already let you in. All I can do is sing, and why would I let you win? I will not absorb your shame. It was you who put me through this. I could tell myself you'll change. Do it again. Do it all again. Be deluded. Never get your sympathy. I don't think you're able. She doesn't think he's able to give her even the sympathy for what he's done to her. But I can walk out with my dignity if I lay my truth on the table. See, she understands that when things like this happen, revenge is the only way to set things straight. She's going to go through with it, and I applaud her for this. Lie to the children. The ending was mutual. I'll shoulder all the pain. That's how she feels it would be if she would lie to the children, if she would tell them that it was a mutual breakup. I'm sick of carrying, suffering for your sins. I have already let you in, so why should I let you win? You have taken everything. I think this is wonderful. An applause for you, Lily Allen. Wonderful revenge arc. And now let's see how everything just gets closure with the last song called Fruityloop. 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 So she closes the loop with Fruityloop. So finally, the song where she has a minute of clarity to see the man that she was with for what he was. No longer is she asking him, am I still your number one? No longer is she pleading for him to love her. No longer is she looking at the mirror and finding all the faults in herself, like, I need a facelift, I'm so old, that's why he can love me. No, she sees him clearly now, and this is the end of this whole arc. Let's hear it. She says, you are just a little boy looking for his mummy. Things have gotten complicated, what with all the fame and money. Playing with his toys, he just wants attention. He can't really do attachment, scared he's gonna be abandoned. And finally I see, it is not me, it is you. It is what you have always done. It is what you do forever until you die. It is true. It is not me, it's you. And there was nothing I could do. You're stuck inside your Fruityloop. I'm just a little girl looking for a daddy. Thought that we could break the cycle. Thought that I could keep you happy. It is what it is. You're a mess. I'm a bitch. Wish I could fix all your shit, but all of your shit is yours to fix. 'Cause it's not me, it's you. It's all you've always done. It is what you do. Forever until you die. It is true. It is not me, it is you. And there was nothing I could do. You're stuck inside your Fruityloop. There's nothing I could do. I think this was wonderful, Lily. You finally found peace. You finally managed to see him in, with clarity. And you took revenge, which I applaud. But now let me give you my final thoughts on this relationship. So from everything that we have learned, this big mess, I think we have very clear vision of what happened, at least from Lily Allen's perspective. And, we're never going to get David Harbour's, I don't think. He did apologize. He said he had made mistakes. I mean, that's an understatement, the understatement of the century. But yeah. So if we take this album at face value, then we can see how this was. I think this was a clash between two people who just didn't have the same attachment style. She needed somebody who accepted her neediness and provided her with the space and the commitment that she needed in order for her to understand that she was actually beloved for real. She didn't feel that she was lovable, even if she doesn't say this. I feel it from all of the things, all of the put downs that she has in her mind, all of her ruminating. I feel like she felt or she feels like she's unlovable. And what she needed was somebody who would be there time and time again to prove to her that he loves her for real until she started to believe it and she could put her guard down. Instead, though, she found an unreliable guy. She found a guy who has more of a detached attachment style, someone who doesn't want other people to need them because it triggers a sense of anxiety in him. That's why he kept complaining that she was needy. And that was just a cocktail. That was just a storm in a teapot, I feel like a different kind of person. Just imagine how it would have gone if instead of somebody who needed this type of commitment, he would have found somebody who was non-monogamous, who liked to have multiple partners just like him and was okay with all of this. I mean, he would have had a much better time, and the person involved would also have a much better time because, there wouldn't be expectations that were betrayed. And the moment that this man married Lily Allen without telling her that he wanted to have all of this sex with random people and even a mistress, whatever, he was sabotaging his own future, the future of Lily Allen, of her children, of everything. I don't know. I don't understand how there's so many people out there out of control. Honestly, how can he sleep at night? But, that's what happened. Yeah, and I feel kind of sad for Lily Allen, but, I love doing these deep dives. I love knowing how relationships work and trying to see to the very bottom of things. And if you enjoyed this and you like deep dives too, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. I don't normally ask people to do this because I feel like if you like what I do, then you will do it on your own. I don't have to ask you. But sometimes it's good to remind people that the button is there. And I love seeing the number grow. I'm new to YouTube and it encourages me to keep making cool videos. But, I also understand that sometimes subscribing to people is kind of useless because the YouTube algorithm doesn't always show you what people post. So if you really want to receive my videos when I post them, then also subscribe to my newsletter. It's not a newsletter, it's like an emails list. You can go here. There's a form there. You enter your email and then you confirm your email by going to the confirmation link. And then you'll be inside my list and I will send you an email every time that I update my channel with something cool. And yeah, so thank you for being with me all the way through. I thought it was quite fun. See you soon.
Want to watch some Netflix?